Cool. All right. So, welcome everyone. Welcome again. Today we have another guest. So you guys might know him. He's a familiar face if you've seen his first interview. His name's Elbass. Now, just for a bit of backstory, you guys can check out my first interview that we did with Elbass, and it was months ago. I think it was about 4, maybe 5 months ago now. Just when he started getting his success on Amazon, he was one of my first students. I think he was my very first student to enroll, and I thought it would be good to do a follow-up interview with him and just talk a bit about how he's going. So I've got some questions set up here, and this is just to not only just to show you guys, what's capable in Amazon Australia, but to show you the realistic side of it, show you his ups and downs, and just how he goes about doing everything, and just how he's going now with it, and go from there. Because I want you guys to be motivated from what Elbass has done and what he's continuing to do, and I want you guys to replicate it and do the same. Because the other point of this interview was because I wanted to talk about the 10K Club, which is coming, and at the end of this week, the 3.0 update for the course should be released. Pretty much every video has been fully re-recorded. There's a few there that are the same, but pretty much all of them are re-recorded, and with that is becoming the rebranding. If you guys didn't know, it's changing from Amazon Seller Excellence to Ecom Excellence, and then as a part of that, there is the introduction to the 10K Club. So with talking with Elbass, pretty much now it was just over 10K in sales, but now just talking to him just before, coming into May, I'm pretty sure it would be over 11K sales now, if that's correct in total. So
yep, that's right.
So he's pretty much, Elbass is the first student who is with me in the 10K Club, and I want you guys to do the same. So without further ado, we're going to get into these questions. So I've got them on my phone here. I can't remember them, but if you guys, like I said, if you guys haven't seen the first video, if you want a bit more backstory with Elbass when he first started, go and check out that video now. But I guess kicking it off, so you've been selling for, it's about 5 to 6 months. That's basically when you first started selling your inventory.
Yep, that's right. Yep, I started selling in October, so it's around six months now.
Yep.
That's right. 7 months, 7 months.
Yeah, cool. So, and I think that sort of averages just around over, because you had I think you were selling around, your average at the start was around, I think 2,000 to 3,000 per month.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, and
that's right.
I guess if you average it over those months, it's a little bit over $1,000 a month. Which some people might look at that and go, oh, you've only sold this amount in 6 months or so, and they might say, oh, people might sell 10,000 per month on the US site. But what people have to realize is that because it's such a brand new market, there's people out there that are being completely negative about the Aussie market and saying that you can't sell anything at all. And as you guys will see, we'll get into some more questions later on, and we'll talk about sort of his ups and downs, any hurdles or anything that we've gone through, and it's just to show you guys that it can be done, and that there's going to be steps along the way that you'll have to overcome, but it can be done, and Elbass is living proof of that. And I like that Elbass is here because you guys have word from him as opposed to just hearing it from me all the time. I like having other people come in and talk about it as opposed to just listening from my mouth all the time. So first question I have, as I can't remember them off the top of my head, so how many products do you currently have listed?
So currently I have around, including the variations, around 5 products.
Yep.
Include variations. 5 products, 2 products, but the first one will be 3 variations. Second will be 2 variations.
Yep.
And I'm releasing my third one I'm planning on releasing it in August, sorry.
Oh, I didn't even know you had a third product. I thought it was just the 2. That's exciting. So
yes, very exciting.
That's good. And are they all selling fairly well, or do you have one that sells more than the other, or what's?
So my first product, that one is selling really, really well. Especially two of the 3 variations, it's going really well.
Yeah.
October, November, December, especially last year, I've sold 300, 400 units a month. Which was amazing.
Yeah.
Recently, January, February, March was slow, but April, May, amazing. It's picking up. I've had the best selling product was, I think I sold around 100 to 200 a month just for that first product.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And people are saying that because basically, I try and teach that in the course to try and find, products that are doing around that, sort of the 200 mark. If you can get to 300, even better. But it's good that you're selling that amount because it just proves that, even if it's in the early stages, the demand is there. And, and the big thing that I like, I always say it, is the big thing I like about your products is that you're creating a brand. And the more products that you put out that have your brand there, that have your name there, your logo, people will start to recognize that. And in the long term, once you've got those products there, when the market starts to flourish, which it will, even more than it is now, it's more than doubled since its release about, almost, I think 1.5, 2 years ago. The market's almost doubled, but since you're going to be already established there, it's going to get to the point where you're going to be making a killing. I can guarantee it. You're going to be making a lot more money for sure.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely will for sure, and especially if you have that brand there. Okay, so I guess we've covered how much you're selling per month on average. What was your high? I don't know if we just did cover this, but what was your highest selling month so far?
I think it was November.
Yeah.
That was around, I can't really remember the top of my head. I think it was 200 to 300 units a month.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound much, but that was the time when I first ordered my first few shipments.
Yeah.
And I usually order 300 each time. So basically, I sold all of my shipments in a month.
So you sold all those 200 to 300 in that month.
Yep.
So that's good now.
So all my single shipment in a month.
So are you ordering more now, or are you still ordering sort of around the 300, or you sort
of... So I've moved up to 500 to 700 units a month for my each shipments. Yeah,
that's good. I didn't even know that. That's really good.
It is, because the unit prices go down like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 300 to 500, 700, there's a pretty big gap. So
yeah. And the thing that you guys don't know is that because Elbass has been working with his suppliers, this is the plus side of working long term with suppliers as well. You can work out different deals with them. If you're a long term customer,
right,
you can negotiate with them more and they will help you out more. That could be lowering costs of products, that could be adding stuff in for a cheaper price. So there's a lot that you can do when you work long term with suppliers, which Elbass has done really well with. So that's another good reason to stick with a certain niche and a category, because the supplier might be able to offer something more for that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I've had a few problems with my suppliers, definitely. There was one or two big problems that I had, but I still stuck with them. And they are rewarding me because they do reward you back for sticking with them long term, and they do like that.
Yeah,
so they're giving me great discounts. They're even offering me drop shipping now.
Really?
So,
yes. Is that from Alibaba?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So they don't usually do it, but they said they would definitely do it with me because I've been with them for a very long time now.
That's awesome.
Even if they had problems with me, they said I'm still stuck with them. So
That's good.
They said sure.
Yeah,
we'll help you out.
And going into that, the other question I had was, what were some of the hurdles that you faced? Because it's not all smooth sailing if you guys think about it. And it's the same with me with selling. It's not smooth sailing at all. You're gonna come up against hurdles, but the thing with Elbass is that he's stuck with it, and he keeps sticking with it, and he is reaping the rewards from sticking with it as well. But in saying that, what were some of the hurdles that you've sort of faced?
Sure. So for me, especially recently, the biggest hurdles were, it's not really from my end. So there were faulty products. I've had a lot of faulty products.
Yeah.
The recent one I had was my supplier. My suppliers switched the barcodes for the variations.
So did they have the different barcodes on different variants?
That's
so they
right.
were okay.
On variations, that's right. Yeah. So
yeah.
So when a customer ordered product A, he or she was receiving product B because the barcodes were switched.
Right.
And
yes,
yeah, and that was for 500 units. So 500 units with barcodes all over the place. Yeah, I'm still working it out. We're very close to sorting it out.
Yeah.
But I've seen it, and I've talked to so many people as well on who's having problems with Amazon, and mostly it is our fault, but some of the times it's not really our fault, but you still have to find out ways to solve it.
Exactly.
Work with your suppliers, be positive, be motivated.
I mean, as hard as it is, you do have to take take responsibility. And in that case, did you just have Amazon send the units back to the supplier? Did you just contact them?
Yep. So I talked to my suppliers, and they found a third-party company in Australia that would do the barcode switching for me.
Oh, perfect.
I told Amazon, and they put in reserve units.
Yeah.
And I put in the address of the third party, and Amazon will contact the third party, and they'll ship it out to the third party.
Oh, perfect. And that's the other thing as well, for you guys who don't know, if there is a problem that and the same thing's happened to me with trying to list a certain product with me. It's happened before, but if you have a problem that you can't find on forums, you can't find any help on at all, the best thing to do, and what I found if I couldn't find help, is just to contact Amazon seller support, because they're unbelievably helpful. And you can either email them, or you can get in contact with them and give them your phone number. They'll put it on a high priority list. You can choose to do that, and then you can they'll give you a call, and you can sort it over a phone call. Even if it takes a few phone calls or a bit of back and forth in email, they eventually get it sorted out majority of the time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Amazon Seller Support has been really helpful. I couldn't have done it without them. They're really helpful. So if you have any problems, do contact them straight away. Don't just sit down and worry. Because they will sort you out. And also just going to your point about responsibility. In retrospect, I know it's not my fault with the barcodes, but I have to take responsibility as well. I did have to recheck with the suppliers and stuff, with the barcodes. I should have done that. So.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, the way you have to think about it is that when you're going into selling on Amazon, you're essentially becoming a business owner, and you're essentially the owner of a brand, or even if it's not a brand, an owner of a product, a line of products, and you really have to think of it in the sense of a business owner. So you can't shift the blame. Even if it's the supplier, you pretty much have to put the blame on yourself, and
that's right.
Take responsibility and get it sorted for yourself, and it will work out. You just have to stick with it. Now, what have I got here? Okay, so we did talk a little bit about it before. You're not living in Australia anymore. So
no,
we won't get into details of it, but Elbass has moved back to his home country. Is that in South Korea?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so
or maybe North. I don't know. Just kidding.
Somewhere in the middle. But the question I had about that, the reason I brought it up was, have you noticed? Is there any difference in selling in the Australian market when not living in Australia, or are there any, is there anything different about it, or is it pretty much the same thing?
80%, 90% of the time, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're still, because most of the time you're doing the work on the net, right?
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
internet. Yeah, it's all online. So you're still contacting your suppliers. You're still contacting seller support through email, through calls. You're still sending shipments online.
Yeah.
But still, you can do it. But I guess it is better to live in Australia.
Yeah.
It does help, but it's not a big hurdle.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's good because it's all online now.
That's right.
It's just the opportunity, I guess, and especially for people who aren't sort of in our generation, who aren't around, late teens, early to mid 20s, who are a bit older, they can also get onto this opportunity. Even if they weren't brought up with it now, like when they were kids, they can, they can still access this opportunity, and it's huge. The internet has opened up so many avenues, especially for creating income, for sure.
Definitely.
So I should really remember these off the top of my head, but I can't.
No, please.
Now, we've only got a couple of questions left because we've pretty much answered, I guess, what majority of people would want to know about it. Next question I have is, what has selling on Amazon and e-commerce in general taught you? So I guess it's a bit of a broader question, but I guess the main thing is what sort of, because I know for me, just to give you a reference for me, learning about Amazon and e-commerce in general has really taught me about the opportunities that lie in selling online, and that you can get to the point where you don't have to work in a regular job if you don't want to. You can work online from home if you want, or if you want to have your stable income, your normal job, you can still create an extra income from selling online. So I guess what's your sort of experience in learning about Amazon, and what's the main thing that it's taught you?
Yeah, I think that's a great question.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've learned so much. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are selling are experiencing as well.
Yeah.
You know, all the way from negotiating, accounting, product management, branding, marketing.
Yes.
Also, talking to customers, complaint handling.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing is going over challenges.
Yes.
It's there's so many unexpected things
exactly.
running at you, and you have to stay positive. Have the support of your family and friends.
Yes.
Because I've had heaps of support from my family and friends around me. I couldn't thank them enough.
Yeah.
And you can't do this alone. You need to have your support around you.
Yeah.
Just be resilient, more determined, and I feel like I'm being more resilient as I'm going through this Amazon journey.
Yeah, which will happen for sure. Yeah, that's another reason why we have the Facebook group, and why with the new update there's going to be a brand new student group as well, which is just going to be just for the students as opposed to the YouTube followers and the Facebook followers and whatnot. But the main point of the group is to have that support, and to have someone or a group that you can go to and that you can ask questions about if you're unsure. And if you have that uncertainty, you can post the question in the group, and you can have people help you out, and you can have people like myself, Elbass, and other students in the course who have done it and you haven't done it yet, and you have uncertainty. They're there to have your back with it as well.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. I'm always open to help. For other students as well, yeah. So you can contact me anytime. Of course, you can contact Jack, but yeah, when he's busy, because he has over 100 students now, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can always contact me or other students. We're all there for anyone, because we've been there. Yeah. We know how hard it is without any support.
Exactly, and like what Elbass has said, he is being more resilient along the way. He's starting to get more resilient, and there are hurdles, unexpected hurdles that he's run through, and I would say that a beginner, any of you guys who are beginners are going to run into unexpected hurdles as well that maybe even neither myself or Elbass have run into. So that's again why we're here, and why the support group's there as well. But I guess pretty much the last question that I have for you, and which would be probably one of the most beneficial for the students out there, is what is one piece of advice that you have for new sellers going into Amazon selling? Doesn't have to be Australia specific, but just just as a seller in general. If there's a newbie who is looking at getting into the e-commerce sort of world and wants to start selling on Amazon, what is any piece of advice that you could give to them?
Yeah, sure. I would say save your money as much as possible.
Yep.
Basically, don't waste your money on too many things. Most importantly, contact as much suppliers as possible. Try to negotiate with them, get the best prices. Try and find ways, cost-effective ways to earn money. Yeah, yes. There are so many cost-effective ways. They are a bit more confusing, a bit more difficult, but they will definitely help you in the long run.
Yeah.
Long run, because in the beginning, it's all about money, saving money. Yeah. So I would say save your money as much as possible. Yep. Find the most cost-effective way. Because the biggest weapon you have is time. Because time is free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So just use your time. Do your research. Just take as long as you need, but find a cost-effective way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great answer. So guys, that's listening to Elbass. I appreciate you coming on again, Elbass, for having an interview.
Anytime.
Again to follow up. But it's just more so to solidify in everyone's mind for you guys who are watching it, and just to give you that Kickstarter. If there are students out there who are sort of dwindling along and they're not sure what product they're looking for, and they're not sure where to start, this is just coming from two guys who have been in the same position that you are, and it does get easier along the way. You sort of refine your methods of what you do. But when you're first starting, and even along the process, there's still going to be hurdles that you face, and like what Elbass has said, you just become more resilient to them, and you just, the harder you work, the easier it becomes, and the more sort of luck you get, the harder you work. Yeah. So you pretty much just have to put in the work, and you will get there. And like what Elbass has said, I'm not going to lie to you, and we're not going to lie to you about the fact that there have been slow months, but like what Elbass has said again, there's the months are starting to grow again. Now he can order more units, and now he can start selling more, and he'll start growing. And the big thing is that because he's established himself early in the market growth, he will reap the rewards later on, and especially in 2 to 5 years time, he's going to be making a lot of money as the market grows.
Definitely, yep.
But yeah, guys. Apart from that, if you have any other questions, definitely message myself. Feel free to message Elbass. He's in the Facebook group as well. You can find him in there. And guys, like if you guys are interested, if you're new to the channel and you're not sure what all this is about, click the link in the first link in the description below and check out the course. This 3.0 update is going to be huge, and it's going to help you guys out a lot, especially the Aussies out there who are looking to sell on Amazon. And the course is growing. It's only going to get bigger, and so will the group, and so will the information that comes and the help that comes with the group. But apart from that, Elbass, I want to thank you again for coming on this interview and helping out, because your knowledge helps out a lot of students and viewers as well. So thank you again.
Well, I'm always happy to help with anything. So.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
But yeah, guys. Apart from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this interview, and I'd say in the future we'll be seeing Elbass again when he's when he's selling more, because I definitely know he'll be selling more, and when he's got more of an established brand and even more information. So apart from that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.